What is going on, everybody? Getting ready to do the fifth down tonight with my man Paris. Just wanted to let everybody know the Braves are world champions. I figured I'd go ahead and get that out here off the start. Show y'all that. Like I say, man, just waiting on Paris to show up tonight. We're gonna talk about a couple of topics. I got a couple of MLB topics. I know he's got some NFL stuff, a little bit of college stuff. We're gonna talk about some NBA things, college basketball. I'm watching the game right now. I'm watching Kansas, Michigan State right now. They're at the half. Kansas kind of went on a run there at the end of the half to kind of close it out. I think it was like a 9-1 run. At the end of the day, I still like Michigan State to maybe win this game. I know they're not ranked right now, but Michigan State's probably one of the better coach teams when it comes in college basketball with Tom Izzo. College basketball is probably one of my outside of college football is probably one of my favorite sports just because of the way it's set up, how the tournament is. Obviously, there's a lot more parity in college basketball than there is in college football. You can get some teams that are going to run. Excuse me, they can go on a run. If they get hot, we've obviously seen that last couple of years. Lola Chicago, George Mason a couple of years ago. Well, not a couple of years, about 10 years ago. I see we got a lot of folks popping up in here. I appreciate it. Like I say, we'll get started here in about, like I say, Paris should hop in here in a couple of minutes. Hatch, man, nobody cares about Michigan. Go Blue. Nobody cares about no Fab Five. Probably one of the most overrated teams. Didn't win a championship. Chris Webber calling extra timeouts, which I did like Chris Webber though. Here we go. Now, like I said, we getting the comment section going. Oh, come on now. I know we ain't finna talk about Ohio State and basketball. I don't know when the last time they were good, but I'll say a couple other games tonight. I know Duke's playing Kentucky. After that, we'll see how that goes down. Kentucky obviously loaded, 1,005 stars that Calipari can recruit. Hopefully, I still don't think Cal's a great coach. He's a great recruiter, and sometimes the talent just kind of wheels into that. I know they're picked by a lot of folks to win the SEC, so we'll see how that shakes out. Coming up with that. Like I said, it's some other good games on tonight. I know the Big East is starting tonight. Getting that going. All right, P, here we go. Get you in here real quick. See if we can get this thing going. It says adding. So we'll go ahead and stay going here. There we go. Connecting. Yo, P, what's up, dog?
What's going on, man? How you
You
doing?
know, man. Oh, man, just out here living it up, man. You missed the intro when I had my other Braves cap, showing that we the world champions. So I kind of figured you'd show up a little late. It is what it
Nobody
is.
cares about baseball. Like
Hey,
nobody in the world.
hey,
Like
it's
really,
it's all
like nobody.
hey, it's all good, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hey, I understand the White Sox are in turmoil right now. Y'all done brought LaRussa back. We'll see how that shakes out for you next year. Um,
Turmoil. Hmm. Now winning the division is turmoil. Okay. Hmm.
hey, like I say, man. None of my teams have won a championship in like 26 years, man. So I'm not used to this kind of. I'm not used to being here. You know what I'm saying? It's been a
And,
while for me.
and it'll be
So,
another 26 years before they do it again. So
hey,
enjoy it. Enjoy
hey,
the
man.
run.
Hey, man. I understand that. You know what I'm saying? I feel the hating is live tonight, man. It's all good.
Yeah, it's all
So,
good.
nah, it's all good, man. Like I say, man, we were just talking a little college hoops earlier. Like I say, man, one of my favorite opening night college basketball, man. I love it, man. I was telling folks, man, it's the parity for college basketball that I like is a little bit better, obviously a lot better than college football, just because a team like Lola Chicago can make that run, even against the Kentuckys, the Dukes of the world, man. So again, we'll see how this shakes out. But obviously, long season, and then come March, we'll see We'll see who's there cutting down the nets. I don't know if Gonzaga's going to be there this year, but that'll be another show that we can talk about later on, man. So, you think so? I think they'll probably go. I mean, I think they're going to lose probably 2 or 3 games this year. One or two of them they ain't got no business losing. But like I say, I think they'll be in the Final Four. I just don't think they'll make it to the championship. But we all know that Mark Few can coach, man. I think we've talked about that before. That guy probably does. Him and Tom Izzo, in my opinion, probably 2 of the best coaches in college basketball because they usually don't get a lot of 5-star guys. I mean, if any, you know what I'm saying?
No, but we'll save that for another day.
They don't?
No, really though, Gonzaga's loading up. Over the past few years, they've almost gotten to, I don't want to call them a blue blood, but when you get guys like Chet Walker and guys like that, yeah, they've loaded up. I'm pretty sure that they've had I'd say over the past 3 years, they probably averaged a top 5 recruiting class. When you get Jalen Suggs of the world and those one and dones. But Mark Few is a good coach, though. There's no denying.
But I'm saying trying to compare Gonzaga to a Kentucky or a Duke, North Carolina, man, it's honestly, you're not going to get that level.
Honestly, I put those guys in the same boat nowadays. I really do. That's another show. But as far as just the recruiting aspect, I really do put them in that group along with Baylor and schools like that constantly you see in the top 5 to 10 in recruiting year after year after year.
All right, like I say, I'm making a note about having a NBA or having a NCAA hoop / recruiting show, just so we can talk about that, man. I'm making a note of that, man. So, with that, man, like I said, we'll go ahead and get started. You know what I'm saying? We won't hold everything up. I think I can still see the comments down here, and we'll see how it.
This old troll is with us, my guy Courtney.
Yeah, man. So, like I say, P, if you want to start tonight, we can. If not, I'm teed up,
man.
Right.
Let's get into NFL awards. So I need the award winners. Who is going to be holding the awards at the end of the year based off where we are? A couple of these I feel are easy. MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, and Offensive Player of the Year.
Okay. So I'm gonna go MVP. I'm gonna go with my man Kyler. I think he's the guy that's gonna do it with my man Action Jackson right behind him. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm gonna go with Kyler right now for MVP. You said Defensive Player of the Year. That was a little bit difficult. I mean, it is. I'm gonna go with Myles Garrett. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And then you said Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, obviously, if you Kyler Murray and you're MVP, you have to be Offensive Player of the Year, or you could give it to Action Jackson. That's just that's where I'm gonna go with.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then you said defensive. No, you said Rookie of the Year, right?
Mm-hmm.
We going offensive and defensive because offensive Rookie of the Year. Because Offensive Rookie of the Year is easy to me. That's Jamar Chase.
Hands down. For Defensive Rookie of the Year.
So that one was kind of I kind of looked at this for a little bit, and the easy choice to me is Micah Parsons there in Dallas, just with how he's playing. But I'm gonna go with somebody else that wasn't a first-round pick, and I'm gonna go with Asante Samuel out there in San Diego or LA, excuse me. So I'm gonna go with I think he's gonna be the guy that holds it at the end of the year because that guy he's locking them down out there, man. I don't know the exact stats, but I like him a little bit better. I think Parsons he's on a better defense. I know that's really bad to say with Dallas, with how they kind of got dump trucked by the Broncos the other day. But I'm still gonna go with Asante on that one, man.
I can live with that one, but for me, MVP, I think is going to be Lamar Jackson. I think he's going to run away with the MVP award. I'm not sure about this injury of Kyler Murray, but even before that, if you look at his numbers the past couple of games, he's starting to slow down. He's not running the ball as much. And for Offensive Player of the Year, I'm going with Cooper Kupp.
Okay.
Cooper Kupp he's having one of the great wide receiver seasons ever. So for Offensive Player of the Year, I'm going with Cooper Kupp.
Hey, and the funny thing is I can't be mad about that because it just seems like him and Stafford got that they got that connection. Now, granted, last game Tennessee kind of beat them up, but Jerlon Pace is gonna owe me money because he said that Antonio Brown would have better stats than Cooper Kupp. So at the so like I say, that's a shout out to my man Pace. Hey, just go ahead and shoot me that Cash App, player. All right, man. Well, obviously you said nobody cares about baseball, so I'm gonna hop into baseball here real quick. So we were talking about awards. This quick one. Who wins AL and NL MVP?
Well, Courtney, we both said that. See, I have Cooper Kupp right there on my sheet. It was written down ahead of time. So yeah, I'm with you on that. For real. So where are we going now?
I was saying, so who wins AL and NL MVP?
Oh, so
we got the finalists.
Okay, so
we can.
That's okay. American League, to me, it has to be Shia Tony.
Okay.
Especially what he did with the pitching aspect. I mean, the guy really is a dominant pitcher. Plus 247, 46 home runs, 100 RBIs. Typically, I don't like to give awards to bad teams, but baseball is the one sport where you understand how that one player really can't impact winning, and you can still have a dominant season and be on a bad team, because he was really on a bad team.
Oh, yeah.
I almost went with Vlad Guerrero Jr., who I would have at second for MVP. And I think Toronto is one of those teams that's really up and coming. Now, the National League, this one was close for me. Two left-handed outfielders, I feel, are both deserving, but I'm going to go with Juan Soto. By that much over Bryce Harper. 313, 29, 95. I think Juan Soto is really like maybe the best pure hitter in baseball right now. He's a borderline 5-tooler. Doesn't quite have the arm to be considered a 5-tool guy, but talent-wise, for his age, the kid's a hog. So that's who I go with. I go with Shy out there in the American League, and Juan Soto in the National League.
Okay. I mean, I like I say, I can definitely get down with that. I personally think that if Toronto would have made the playoffs, I think that would have pushed Vlad up to the top, even though with what Ohtani was doing. Because like you said, man, that's some little league type stuff right there, man, where you got a guy that's, knocking in 12 guys and then going out there and throwing 7 dominant innings, you know what I'm saying? So I have no issues with that. The National League, I was a little bit shocked with the 3 players, because obviously all 3 of those guys missed the playoffs. Obviously the the AL as well. But I mean, it looked like Harper kind of faded down the stretch, especially, that last series when they played the Braves. I think he went like 0 for 12, 0 for 13 in that series. So that kind of eliminated him. And you kind of saw the same with Tatis, down the stretch. He just kind of, he kind of faded. And then obviously, those guys had to make a change there in San Diego. So again, I don't have an issue with Soto. Like you said, I agree with you, man. I'm surprised the Nats didn't trade him too. Hell, they was giving everybody else away. So just trade that guy too. But he's that guy, he kills the Braves too, man. So like I said, I got no issues with him.
Just giving guys away.
Hey, 100%. And the good part is the Dodgers lost, so that made it even better.
Yeah, it does.
All right, man. So you up, P?
I am up. Let's see. As far as the rankings go, we rank these college teams before the season starts.
Okay.
Basketball and football. Nobody cares what they do in baseball. Yeah.
No.
Just being honest. So, as far as the ranking of the teams, do you agree with preseason rankings? And we all know that sort of helps you with the TV, sort of what we see tonight. Where you have the ranked teams going against each other. So we sort of know that's why they do it. So do we agree with that? And if not, what system would you put in place, and how would you go about changing that?
So 15 years ago, obviously, when there wasn't as much TV money, I didn't have an issue with it. Obviously, pre-BCS era type things, especially for football. Football, I'm more, leaning to just kind of get away from it until about week 5 or week 6, just until some games kind of shake out. basketball, I don't really have an issue with it because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter who number one is right now, which is Gonzaga, and it doesn't matter who's 127. Because at the end of the day, everybody's going to play in a conference tournament, and everybody has a legit chance to make it to the NCAA tournament regardless of rankings. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I think the sport has kind of evolved, and I think that, these kind of AP and coaches polls, they need to kind of evolve as well. So basketball, I don't really care about it. Football is where I have an issue with it because you see teams that are highly ranked every year, or, they kind of get that benefit of the doubt based off of some nonsense that they come up with. So, in football, I would like to kind of see just kind of a clean slate, to start the season, and then after a couple of games are played, then you can kind of throw some rankings out there, because that's when you're really going to tell who is who and who's out there really playing. But like you said earlier, man, a lot of that stuff, especially in football, is mostly for TV. You know what I'm saying? It's all about ratings and things like that. So, at the end, because the reality is, let's go back to Georgia Clemson to start the season. I think Georgia was ranked 5 or 6 and Clemson was 2 or 3. I can't remember the exact numbers, but that obviously
both in the top 5. Yeah,
exactly. And now here we are. Clemson's got like 4 losses and Georgia's number 1. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, does that, and then people are like, oh, well, they beat a number 3 Clemson, but really, did we really beat number 3 Clemson at the time? Yeah, but now here they are with 4 losses. So it's like I say, I just don't like the football rankings, because I think it plays too much bias into it, and you see a lot of teams kind of get that extra nudge when it comes in. Now I think it helps a team like Cincinnati a little bit when you're trying to get, when you're trying to become from that group of 5 and get up into that, that top 6 or 8 or whatever it is to get that New Year's 6 bowl. But for the most part, man, those rankings shouldn't come out until late in the season. I'd say week 6 is when you can really start telling.
I like it. Makes sense.
All right. So I'm going to go back. Like I said, I'm going to hop back into baseball real quick. I said, I flipped my questions around on you. So MLB free agency is upon us. So let me ask you this. Who are your top 5 free agents that are out there right now, and who or what team will overpay for one guy?
I'm going to start out with that. I think Seattle Mariners are going to be the team this year that's going to surprise everybody and just overpay.
Okay.
I really, because they've been losing for a long time. They have a pretty low payroll. So when I thought about that question, I was thinking, what team was sort of decent last year but falls into that category of a team I could see just overpaying? I think that's going to be the Seattle Mariners who are going to make us go, they did what? They'll be the team that give Kershaw a 5 or 6 year deal.
Well, the last
try to
time
make
they
that
did
splash.
Well, the last time they did that with guys, it didn't work out for them with like Sean Figgins and guys like that, man. I think they're still paying that guy.
Yeah, I can see them overpaying. Now, my top 5, because I like guys with a little versatility and maybe a little youth on their side. So in order, my top 5 I'm going to say is Carlos Correa.
Okay.
Out of the shortstops, he's the guy that I like the most, because I just feel like he's just the premier shortstop on the market. You got other guys like Rbi Baseball, who I liked, but right now he's somewhere striking out, and Corey Seager, who's been beat up throughout the years.
Okay.
Now, second on my list would be a surprise. A lot of people probably won't agree, but Marcus Semien. Because whenever you can get 42 home runs from a middle infielder, a guy still is on the right side of 30, and that whereabouts still has plenty of tread on the tire. I like Marcus Semien because he can play short and second. Third, I'm going to go Robbie Ray.
Okay.
Robbie Ray
from Toronto.
Yes, Robbie Ray, in my opinion, if he puts it together, he has Cy Young stuff.
You think he's going to win it this year?
He'd be my dark horse bet for Cy Young, depending on where he signs with too.
Okay.
He's one of those guys, that if he gets with the right pitching coach, with the right offense, he's a guy that really could go 20-5 with a 2.3 ERA and 200 strikeouts. He has that in him. Fourth, I'll go with your guy, Freddie Freeman.
Okay.
Who I feel is just your classic first base, left hand, 30 home run, 100 RBIs, 305 guy. Just
professional hitter.
Fred McGriff, right?
Yep.
Right, Fred McGriff, just a professional. Just Darvish, he might win the Cy Young this year, but I really think next year is his year.
Yeah.
And my fifth guy, I'll go with Chris Bryant.
Okay.
Basically, due to the versatility, a guy that can play third base as well as the outfield. Hasn't quite been the same since his MVP type seasons there with the Cubs, but I would go with Chris Bryant. That would be my top 5 free agents.
I got you. I like everybody that you said on there. I'm only gonna swap out. I'm gonna switch out Chris Bryant for Corey Seager just because I'm a big Corey Seager fan, man. Like that dude, that guy can just rake, man. He, like I said, and he's a pretty damn good shortstop as well. So I would just swap him and Bryant out. You're not gonna go wrong with that. Now my dream offseason would be the Braves re-sign Freddie Freeman. That's number one. If they don't, we're gonna burn Cobb County and the city down, and then go get Corey Seager. You know what I'm saying? And get rid of Dansby Swanson. I'm not a fan of him. I know he came up, he hit a couple of clutch home runs or whatever, but I'm just not a fan of. But if you can go get a Corey Seager, a Correa, a Simeon, a Baez, or somebody for, the two of those guys you ain't going to get cheap. But I think, maybe even a Trevor Story, you know what I'm saying? Go get that guy on a 1 or 2 year deal just to show that he can still go out and hit. You go and do it. And I agree with you on the Mariners. I'm going to go with, I think the Yankees are going to overspend like they always do.
Well,
but the one guy that I think is going to fleece some people outside of Kershaw is Max Scherzer. Somebody, I read something where, they want, people talking about Scherzer getting a 3-year, $90 million deal. No way. There's no way you pay a guy $30 million at 37 years old that had arm soreness in the biggest game of the year. You just don't do that.
You be the dead arm, the dreaded dead arm.
Yes,
the only thing that's worse than the dead arm is the dreaded forearm tightness.
Or the elbow.
Sore elbow. Whenever you hear forearm tightness or sore elbow, you're like, absolutely, John, let's get it over with, right? But
even with Scherzer, I could see Scherzer going to a contender on a cheap deal, not a guaranteed 30 mil, but like a 10 or 12 mil deal with a lot of incentives. If he hits,
hopefully Scott Boras isn't representing him.
Oh God. Well, you might as well not even try to sign that guy in. Just let him go pitch in the California Penal League.
All right, we're gonna switch gears real quick.
Okay.
Antonio brought up a question earlier this week. He sent it to me, so I figure I put it out here.
I think he sent it to me too.
As far as the division leaders, right?
Yep. Okay.
So we'll have a tournament, and I know you have a NFL-related question coming up a little bit as well. So we're just going to go off the division leaders right now. So we'll do North, South, East, West in both divisions.
Okay.
So Baltimore plays Tennessee. Who wins?
Okay. I'm assuming, and we're going. Everybody's healthy, right? No.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody's good.
I'm gonna go Baltimore.
Okay, we're going Baltimore. So now we have the AFC East Buffalo, AFC West Chargers. Chargers and Buffalo win. Chargers and Buffalo play.
All right. I'm on. Obviously, where they are right now. The game is out in L.A. If the game was in Buffalo, it'd be a slam dunk for them. But I'm still gonna go Buffalo. I'm gonna give Josh Allen the credit.
Okay, Buffalo. So now we have the AFC Championship game, Baltimore versus Buffalo.
I'm still gonna go Buffalo, man. Like, and this ain't hating on nobody. I think we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Buffalo is, in our opinion, or at least mine, one of the most complete teams. And again, I've said it about Action Jackson before, man. If he's got to show me something, and this will be his time to show me that he's ready to make that step. But at the end of the day, I think Buffalo's gonna have too much defense for them, and Buffalo wins a close one.
Why does Action Jackson have to prove something and Josh Allen doesn't?
Well, so here's the thing, right? Josh Allen's already been to the AFC Championship game. You know what I'm saying? He's not running around, and again, this is maybe me just kind of hating a little bit, because people have anointed Lamar Jackson as this elite quarterback, because we haven't said Josh Allen's elite. You know what I'm saying? And Josh Allen, outside of an MVP, has, maybe accomplished a little bit more because he has taken his team to the AFC Championship game. And I mean, they didn't really, hell, he brought him back, down big against who was a couple of years ago. I think it might have been Houston or somebody. Maybe I'm confusing them in Kansas City. But like I say, Josh Allen has went just a little bit further than Lamar Jackson right now. So that to me would be a good game. And I think that it could go either way, especially at Baltimore. Baltimore obviously has the better kicker, but I think, Buffalo's got the better defense, and I think that's what it's going to be.
Okay, so we have Bills in the AFC. So in the NFC, let's go north-south. Let's go Packers and Bucks.
Okay. Obviously, a rematch from last year. Oh, man.
I agree with you, Lee.
Right now, man, if we played right now, I think Green Bay can beat Tampa Bay just because of the injuries in the secondary. Like, them guys are bringing, you know what I'm saying? Hell, they bringing TSA, Hall of Famers off the street to go out there and play cornerback and safety back there. So right now, I'm gonna go Green Bay beating Tampa Bay. Not in a blowout, in a close one.
I think Brady would hang 40 on their heads, but that's okay. So we have the Packers. And now that brings us to Dallas versus Arizona.
Oh, man, this is, an old school NFC East rivalry back in the day. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go Arizona just because I don't trust Dak and the Cowboys in the playoffs. And I think the young fella, is going to be out there trying to prove himself. So I'm going to go Arizona.
So Packers versus Cardinals. We got a rematch.
Yeah, we do. And I think, Aaron is still he's still a little hurt from that. And they obviously beat him heads up this year without Devontae Adams. So if you put Devontae Adams there, and then, they're talking about adding Odell and all that other nonsense. So I just turn the game off. I wouldn't even watch it, but I'm going to go Packers just so I think Aaron Rodgers is on a mission this year. So you know what I'm saying? And I know he's got the COVID thing going on or whatever, but I'm going to go Packers.
He's on a mission to let us all know just what an idiot he is. So, Bills
I know you
versus
love it
Packers,
too.
Super Bowl, yes.
Oh, man.
Darvish, they always lose an NFC championship game.
Yeah. Unless they play the Falcons.
So, Bills versus Packers.
Bills versus Packers, man. That's a tough one. Just to go out of the norm, and I'll go to Bills just because them cats ain't won a damn Super Bowl since I've been alive. Or hell, since fucking OJ was back there running the rock.
Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. The Buffalo Bills are your 2022 Super Bowl winners. Just like that, it's over with. So the Buffalo Bills, okay.
Yep. I'm gonna go Bills.
I can definitely live with that. All
okay.
Right. I can live with that.
All right. So obviously, man, like I say, man, Antonio hit me up with the same question, man. So we just kind of covered that. So right now, obviously Green Bay, Buffalo, and the Rams lost this weekend. And they didn't even really lose to good teams. You can say Tennessee is good, but I think that was just
they lost Kansas City. Green Bay lost to Kansas City, so no shame in going on the road losing to the Chiefs.
But I'll say Buffalo had no business losing to Jacksonville. But at the end of the day, like we always say, man, these guys are professionals. Nobody's tanking. They're out there trying to win the game. But anyway, with all that being said, man, so I'm going to go down to NFC. First, my first question is, out of the teams that are in right now, the 7 teams in, who's going to stay? Who's staying for sure? Who leaves, i.e., and then who is replacing them? So we'll do the NFC first. So right now we got Arizona, Green Bay, Tampa, Dallas, the Rams, New Orleans, and my Falcons somehow. Don't ask me how, but those are the 7 teams in right now. So who stays, who goes, and who replaces them?
If you look at the NFC East is pretty bad. There's only one team there that's going to make the playoffs, the Cowboys. The NFC North, I feel the same way. Even though if the Bears could have won last night, I don't know, we'd be 4th by now. Okay, so now we have the South. So it comes down to the South and the West. Seattle will be the final team in. Seattle will edge out the Atlanta Falcons.
Okay.
I'll stick with the top 6.
Okay.
New Orleans will have just enough. They have a good defense. So I think that'll get them through. But I'm going to go ahead on and give Seattle that last spot.
Okay.
With Russ, especially with Russ coming back.
Russ coming back, yeah.
Even though they got a tough game in Green Bay. But I just don't see it. Atlanta goes to Dallas. So I like Dallas to rebound and win that game big. And so, yes, I would go with Seattle. I give Russ the edge there.
You know, and like I say, I don't have no issues with that. Obviously, I think at the end of the day, the Saints are going to have to find a quarterback that works. I don't think the two guys they got on the roster right now are going to work. They're going to have to go kick the tires on somebody floating around and bring somebody in, man. But again, I'm good with that. Obviously, the Falcons, hell, we almost gave the game away the other day in the fourth quarter like we normally do. So it is what it is. So let's move over to the AFC. So right now we got Tennessee, Baltimore, the Chargers, Buffalo, the Raiders, Pittsburgh, and New England. So who stays, who goes, and who replaces them?
This is another one. I'm going to take out the Raiders.
Okay.
And I'm going to take out New England.
Okay.
And I'm going to replace them with Kansas City because I just believe in my homeboy.
Okay.
To get it together. I think the Raiders are in trouble. They're in the division. They have a chance to beat them twice. And I believe they're either the Sunday night game or the Monday night game this week.
I think they're the Sunday night game because they go to Rams and 49ers or the Monday night game.
I don't believe the Browns are in because if you look at the Browns schedule, that cupcake they had is about to switch. Because now they have to go to Pittsburgh. I still believe they have the Ravens twice. And the Browns are still broke. And especially Chubb might be on a COVID list this week.
Yep, seen that.
Don't let them beat Cincinnati fool you. I still think the Browns are out. And I'm going to take out the Patriots, who, once their schedule flips, what's going to help them is playing the Jets and the Dolphins twice. That's really what's going to help them. But you know what? I'm going to go with the Colts.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the Colts to come in and get that last spot.
Okay.
I believe in Frank Reich. I think Frank Reich's a good coach.
Okay, so you're going Tennessee, Baltimore, Chargers, Buffalo, Kansas City, Pittsburgh, and Indy.
Yes.
Okay.
And damn you, Pittsburgh. But
I can get down with that because it looks like Indianapolis is playing. Those guys are playing some good football right now. You know, it seems like the Frank Reich, Carson Wentz type thing is starting to kind of get going. Looks like they kind of found a running game. I mean, not found, but they're starting to get that running game going with Taylor. So I can get down with that. Obviously that and it benefits them playing the Jaguars and Houston twice. And Tennessee. I think Tennessee is going to fall. I still think they'll make the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to win that division. Not without Derrick Henry, man. Like we can.
They got a 3-game lead though. They have a 3-game lead, so I think that's going to get them through. And we saw, like they proved on Sunday night, they're scrappy. I don't know. I said it a couple years ago. I really don't know how they win, and I guess I need to give Vrabel more credit than what I've been giving him because obviously
I'm still not a Vrabel guy.
I don't either, but obviously he knows what he's doing on the sideline because that team over the past 4 or 5 years have consistently been a good football program. So
that defense, the defensive line the other night.
Twice. There we go.
Hey, and the defensive line the other night, man, they just whipped the Rams offensive line. I think it was the guard 53. He needs to just give his whole paycheck back for the week because he didn't earn it.
That's how I feel about Buffalo's offensive line too. But we're just going to say that was just a bad showing. But their offensive line was really, really, really bad. Yeah,
absolutely. All right, so there we are, man. So you up, P.
All right. Last night, Jeffrey said Wentz is an accident waiting to happen. Yeah, he sure is. He's like Stafford's like evil young brother, right? Last night we saw the incident between the twin and the Joker.
Yep.
For everybody that doesn't know, the twin sort of hit Joker in the ribs there into the game. I believe it was a 17-point lead with 2 minutes left.
2 minutes left, yeah.
So, he's being a tough guy that he is. After that, the Joker retaliates, hits him in the back. Now, there's a video that surfaced today of the twin doing the exact same thing to DeMarcus Cousins. So stop with all this, So he gets hit in the back. And, of course, the bench is clear. And then Jimmy Butler turns into super thug. So just what is your thoughts on the incident last night? And how many games does each player get suspended or just fined?
So I'll start off with the easy part. I think both of them are going to get a 1-game suspension. That's just the easy thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there wasn't really any punches thrown. So I think they're just going to get that 1 game. You know, old Silver, he ain't gonna let that happen, man. They don't want another Malice in the Palace type thing, man. So you know they're gonna go ahead and nip that. But I think it's just one game each. Kind of going back to the fake tough guy. Obviously, I posted a picture that showed Jimmy Butler right after it happened. He was right there on the Joker. Hell, he was close as me to here and did nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then as soon as all the crowd comes in, he's telling everybody to meet me out back, blah, blah, blah. Man, sit down, man. They're all that fake tough guy stuff, man, that KG type, crap, man. They just need to let that stuff go, man, because when it's time to box, man, guys will really box. And it's the same when when we at the club, when you're at the park, whatever, man. If you really want to fight, you're going to fight. Right. It's not all that, hey, hold me back, man, get out of here, man. So that was all just for show. I'll be honest, I'm glad the Joker did it. You know what I'm saying? Again, man, stand up to them dudes, man, because all they are is a bunch of criminals anyway. You know what I'm saying? Right. Both of them. All they do is cheap shot everybody, and then when somebody does it to them, oh, you can't do that. That's wrong. No, he handled it right there. Morris turned his back after you checked somebody. What did you think was going to happen? And then people are trying to compare it to when Pat Goon Beverly, checked old Chris Paul and in the playoffs there. That's not even on the same stratosphere of things happening, man. Like that was well after something. Nobody touched anybody, and then Bev came over there and gave him that Chris Chelios check because he was cooking him in the playoffs. So that is a cheap shot. Twin threw the cheap shot first. Joker said, I'm about that life. Let's go. Checked him back. And now, he's falling on the floor, going to the LeBron flop school.
Oh, man.
And
they brought out a stretcher and everything. I thought I'm like somebody pulled out a 12 gauge and hit him while we weren't looking, because I was
looking like Ricky. Hey, he was looking like Ricky.
Yeah, I'm like, why is this dude still down?
So like I say, man, I think it's one of those things where, again, Twin just thought he was gonna punk somebody, and it just wasn't gonna happen, man. And the Joker stood up to him and gave him one back, and they didn't like it. So and as we see, man, there's those guys do that all the time, and nobody really stands up to them. And now somebody stood up to him, and they want to call foul, and talking about, oh, you did that when my brother turned his back. Man, your brother turned his back on his own after he checked somebody. What did you think was gonna happen? You should, if you're gonna check him, hey, turn back around and look at him. If you're really about that life, you know what I'm saying? So, so like I say, man, I think a lot of that was for show, the after effects of it. But at the end of the day, man, I don't have an issue with any of it going, but 1 game suspension each one is what I think is going to come down. All right, man. Last one for this one, man. So last night, man, my man Chef dropped 50 on us out there in the Oracle. Right. Golden State, yeah, man. Golden State's 9-1 right now, man. My question for you is, and they're doing all this without Clay, is Golden State back to form as being like a legit title contender, or are they just benefiting from feasting on bad teams right now?
I think the Warriors are legit.
Okay.
I think they are ahead of schedule, because I did not see this. I did not see this coming at all from them. I'm looking at their schedule right now, and they've had the Hawks, they played the Hornets, Thunder, Kings, Clippers, Lakers, Blazers. Yes, I do think that they are legit. Championship contender, still a little bit early in that, but they are above schedule. I think that sometimes what they went through last year sort of prepared them for this year. You know how it is when in coaching, sometimes you got to see the bigger picture, right? So when they were taking their lumps, and guys like Juan Toscano Anderson and Poole were getting that valuable playing time, that's what has allowed them to elevate and grow to where they are now. So when you look at that team, they're really deep. Andre Iguodala, who I thought was completely washed, I don't know, he gets to Golden State. He's still sort of like a bum, but now he's like an active bum. So he's giving them some good minutes for real. And now once Wiseman comes back, once Wiseman comes back and Clay, that's a very deep team. And Steph has reminded everybody that I am a superstar. I'm a bad dude. I'm a superstar. Do not disrespect me because I will give you buckets. I will give you premium work.
My range is
Andrew
when I walk in the
Wiggins.
gym.
Andrew Wiggins is a good third guy. He still seems like he sleepwalks through games, but as a third guy, he does his job. So yes, I really do think they are legit. They
Okay.
are definitely legit.
I got it. Like I said, I'm down with that, and I think it's all about matchups and it's all about fit, right? Because it's like you said with Wiggins. I don't think Wiggins is a number one, a number two, but he's fitting in. He's playing a good role there in Golden State, being the third option. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, I still think Iguodala is a good defensive player. You know, he's gonna give you that 12 points or whatever it is. So it's going to be interesting to see, like you said, when Wiseman gets back and when Clay gets back, and once they kind of start playing some of those heavy hitters out west, how that's gonna kind of step up. But now you on point with that one about Steph, man. Like that guy, and the funny part is, man, we made it was like I think it was like his second or third year in the league. Or maybe fourth, I can't remember. When he was having all those ankle injuries, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's like, oh, man, Golden State messed this up. They got a guy with bad ankles. Hey, man, I wish my ankles were that bad, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Where I could just show
That's
up
how
in
they
the
got
gym.
him on that good contract. Remember
Yep.
back in the day when it was like him and Monte Ellis, and Monte Ellis was like, hey, one of us needs to go, and people were like, man, get rid of this Curry dude. Keep Monte Ellis. Oh, boy. Good thing they didn't listen, right?
How the tides have changed. Is Monte even still in the league? I know last he was playing for.
I know he was trying to make a comeback, but he had a good run.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
He had a good run.
Absolutely, man. So I got one more for you, man. It's like
Okay.
man, it's like a random top 5 thing that we do, man. So I'm gonna go pre PS4, PS5, right? I want your top 5 sports video games.
Okay. And this is pre PS4, PS5?
Yeah. So we talking like PS, maybe PS2, you can go there, but I'm thinking more like retro type stuff.
Okay. All right. Top 5. This is good. No order. Okay.
Nope.
Blades of Steel.
Okay.
Blades of Steel has to be in there.
All right.
Baseball. Was it RBI Baseball?
Oh yeah, on Nintendo. Yeah, that's a good one. Or
Yes.
Sega, whichever. All right.
RBI Baseball. There was the baseball game. I'm trying to. Was that the one we used to play on Sega? The baseball game. That's pretty good. That was Nintendo Baseball. This is a pretty good one because I'm trying not to say Madden right now.
Okay.
Because that would be too easy.
Yep.
I will say the old television football, where I believe it was 6-on-6, and you were going this way. That was a good one. Yeah, because you could actually pass.
Yeah.
Tecmo Bowl for sure.
Oh yeah, that had to be there. I was about to say if you didn't say Tecmo Bowl, I'm hanging up the phone and we're no longer friends.
And the basketball game.
Okay.
Where you ran to the corner and you shot the threes and you would start going back the other way, and as long as you hit certain spots, boom, boom, boom. So yes, that right there.
Okay.
That right there is my top 5.
All right. That's a good one. I like that.
Double dribble. Yes, that was it. Double dribble.
Yeah, that's a good one. Like I say, I like Tecmo Bowl. I like RBI Baseball. I'm gonna go. This might have been on. This was around 90. Had to be 91, 92. It's probably one of Bulls versus Blazers in the NBA playoffs.
I was trying to stay away from that one because I got you.
And one of the easiest ones would be NCAA football. Like that's probably that's probably one of a Legends type game right there.
Where a lot of people still play that game. Corey does. They have it where you can still get the updates. I haven't done it yet because when I go to cut on my PS, I guess it's the 3. It gives me this weird stuff, and it seems like it can't update, and so I just leave it alone. But a lot of people are still playing that NCAA game.
Oh yeah, gotcha. And like I say, man, I like so I got the console over here. I be dusting my kids up on with the NBA Jam
Hmm.
Tournament Edition at Hang Time. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I was a big NBA Jam guy, man. Like with on the Sega, where you could I think it was like AIR Start A or something. You get Air Dog and be out there dunking on people and everything. So I enjoyed NBA Jam, man. And one of the other ones, man, that I had, it was on Sega, uh, was Jordan versus Bird. And the reason I like that one is because it had that dunk contest in there that you could do, where you would it would just be, you just be playing Jordan versus Bird, and then you got this dunk contest, man. So
Isn't it amazing
those
how far the graphics has come? Because those graphics, those those things were horrible. But at the time, we were like, man,
oh
this is
my
the
God,
best thing ever. And
man,
that's what made Tecmo Bowl so good, because you could play an entire season, and then you had the playoffs at the end.
yep.
I was
Well,
like,
that
there'll
I
never be
I
nothing better than this.
and I know you enjoyed it just because you would play with the Bears and obviously Walter Payton. You weren't tackling that guy, man. Like him and what was his name? Roger
Bo
Craig,
Jackson.
man. Bo Jackson too, man. Like him, Bo, Walter, and Roger Craig, man, used to just like whatever, man. Just
No, no, no,
what do you say?
Antonio.
WrestleMania?
We
Stop,
don't play wrestling
stop it.
games. Grown men don't play wrestling games. We don't do wrestling. That's for
Hey,
kids.
Hey man, I remember the first Madden game I had. It didn't even have all the teams, or I don't even think it was NFL licensed. It was just Madden football, and it had like 12 teams. And I remember the ambulance would come out on the field when you would get hurt. And like it was just,
Yeah.
man, like you said, just terrible graphics. And yeah, even going back looking at like PS1 Madden
Mm-hmm.
games, and it's like, look how this looks like a drawing I did at school or something, with just colors everywhere, man. It's amazing how it's come along, man. But some of those games, man, you could just play with your boys for hours, man, and just
Right.
doing whatever, man. But it was but yeah, Tecmo Bowl was one. And RBI, I liked RBI baseball because I remember playing with the Kansas City Royals when they
Mm-hmm.
had Danny Tartable, Brett Saberhagen, and I liked playing with them because they had that water in the in the outfield, and I would always try to hit home runs and
With
put
the
it in the
water out
water
there.
out there. Hey, now Lee put one up, Joe Montana Sports Talk Football. That
That
was
was good.
probably
That
I
was
used
pretty
to hate
good.
that one. I didn't like that one because they would give you the blimp view, and it's just nothing but dots, and you're like, I don't even know who I'm throwing to right now. So this is
Yeah,
like,
that
what
that
am I
angle
doing?
was, yeah.
But it would zoom in every time you catch the ball, and you're like, hey man, I need some vision here.
Great,
Getting
great,
tackled.
great, great games. All
Oh yeah.
great games. Good question. Good show, man.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. So obviously, man, I got some I got one of the topics that we'll talk about maybe next week or week after, man,
Okay.
for NCAA, mostly, hoops and recruiting and everything, to get on that. But obviously good show, man. Obviously I took another L in fantasy football this week, thanks to Aaron Rodgers. So he's on my list. I ain't gonna cut him, but because I need him to come back and get some but I appreciate you for beating I think it was Victor you beat. So he's still 2 games behind me. So much appreciative of that. I'm slowly coming back in our college football, um,
I
pick 'em.
outscored you last week.
Again, I said
Again.
slowly coming back. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I didn't say I was taking over, but like I said, I'm
Oh,
finna
oh, 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 okay. I keep
I'm
getting
finna
more points. So if anything, I'm increasing my lead.
no. Hey, I'm like Dan Mullen. I'm narrowing the gap between Georgia and Florida. You know,
Okay, I got you.
hey,
I got you.
and like I say, we don't worry about those kind of scores in the season. We'll worry about that after the season. We'll talk about that. You know what I'm saying? So, but nah, man, good show, dog. Like I say, man, tell the old lady I said happy birthday. I know you got some
Yeah.
things you got to do, but again, I appreciate you taking a little bit of time to
Yes,
come on
sir.
here. As always, man, I appreciate it. I'll hang the link in the in TSA so the folks that wasn't on here to see it
My
live with
man
us
Lee.
can
See you next week, Lee.
yeah. Hey, now I've known that dude for a while. That hey, Lee Howardson, man, he could get on here and tell you a story, man. How we used to go bust dudes in the damn park, man. So man, it was like 5 of us, man. This dude, they used to call him Larry Bird, left-handed cat, man, could shoot, man. So we would be down there just killing cats, man. They be talking so much cash to us, so we'd be like, whatever, fellas, we hear the ball, so let's go. And
Right.
so I've known that dude a long time, man. But now, man, like I say, I'll see you next week, brother.
All
Good
right.
luck to the Bears this weekend. Maybe
We're
that
off,
line
so
I
we
can.
can't lose. I'm watching the line out. I'm watching the line
Oh,
out right now.
Hey man, real quick, man, do you feel, and this ain't trying to bring up no wounds or nothing, but do you feel like the rookie quarterbacks aren't getting kind of the respect from the officials that like some of the vets are? So like last night, you know what I'm saying,
Oh yeah,
with
because
Justin.
that's not the first time that's happened to Justin. When we were playing the Packers, there was a play where he turned around and he went to, call a timeout,
Yeah,
and the refs looked at him like and shook his head like. There was another time in that game, everybody in the stadium thought it was a classic free play.
yeah,
Packers jumped offside. He tried to throw it deep, just throws it up
yep,
there. Packers pick it off an end zone, and at that point in time, they were like, "No, we didn't call anything."
yeah,
So yeah, unfortunately, that's the growing pains of being
yep.
a rookie quarterback. I don't agree with it, but I tell you what, damn sure better change because
Start improving.
I've noticed Lawrence getting beat up with some of these other guys. Like a guy like Aaron Rodgers. You can't touch him.
I know.
So I do wish they'd be more consistent with that.
I,
Yes,
I
I
would
agree.
say like the most blatant one last night to me wasn't the one when he was running and got hit. You know what I'm saying? Because
It
again,
was one where the guy took 2 steps in the pocket and then hit him.
absolutely. And then Justin didn't do him no favors when he laid out like he was dead. You know what I'm saying? But again, he tried to
Right.
sell it, man. So I was just curious, man, what your thoughts was on that. Because again, it just seemed a little egregious last night with that, man. But it is what it is, man. Hopefully the Illini can get another win. I was impressed with them last weekend, football wise. They beat Minnesota. I had them on a parlay card. Unfortunately, nobody else came through. So that was a wash. But I got them on
Right.
a round robin, so I was impressed there. But like I say, man, I'll good stuff. We'll come up with some new questions next week because I'm sure there's gonna
All
be
right.
some more good topics that come up, man. And
Oh yeah.
like I say, man, I'll holler at you, brother.
All right, brother. Be easy.
Hey, man, Braves are the champs.
Oh boy, time to go. How do I get out of here? Oh, there it is. Yeah.